not me as the overwhelming authority in college football, but entering that game on this set to you guys, I said there was one elite defense entering the matchup in Austin back to end out October. It's not the Bulldogs like it used to be. It is Texas.
College football today, only on SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred or just worked on the side or, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
The NFL and college, they don't operate on the same timelines, right? UNLV's head coach just got, the Purdue job this morning, where I imagine, right, UNC probably needs to know from Bill.
Let's say it's late December, and we see 7, 8 teams open, and none of them want Bill. Then Bill's got to make a decision. Does he want to be a college head coach?
Pro football today, only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The early line, only on
And welcome in. It's in-game live game day on a terrific Tuesday. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan for the next 2 glorious hours, right up until 10 p.m. Eastern time, watching, more importantly, betting on the world of sports. Ah, yes, a smorgasbord once again tonight. And clearly the boys in Vegas have gone on their Christmas vacation a little early, because we have a team that has lost 10 straight in the National Hockey League, yet somehow or another is a road favorite, no less, let alone being just a favorite. We got the Cup Championship, if anybody cares, in the NBA. We got the Dookie Pukies in action. How about a college basketball game in which the trend is 13-1 under in play today? How about that? We'll get to it all over the next 2 hours. What's going on, Dave? How are you? Rocking the little Philadelphia Eagles Buddy Ryan, I think of automatically on the sidelines, punching out his buddy. Although that was with the Houston Oilers, but still, punches remain the same. What's going on?
I don't know if you've heard. I mean, it's nighttime in Pittsburgh behind me, but they went to Philadelphia. The Steelers did and lost. So when you got to pay off your bet, you got to come in the Philadelphia gear. So it happens. When you lose, you pay. When you win, you get paid. That's the mantra from my time years ago down in the Caribbean, working in the book and doing the business, and it still stands today. So we came on with the Philadelphia stuff. We will wear it in the entire show today. There will be no changes. The college basketball looks like a nice card tonight. And I saw some big numbers today. This might be the biggest number I've ever seen on a college basketball game. Auburn minus 39.5 with a 156.5 total. And I thought, I can't wait to see Mr. Referee, Mr. Official, who's got to have a system for that. You know a guy who might have a system for that game? You got anything on that game?
Yeah, it's me. I do, as a matter of fact. Although I'm not sure if it's that game or the Tennessee game. What was the line in the Tennessee game? Do you know that one? That was high, too.
Hold on. Yeah, we'll find that one. Tennessee
Carolina did something.
36 and a half maybe, and 143 against Western Carolina. Oh,
against Western Carolina.
Yeah.
So
easy.
Western,
what's the system?
Yeah, I did play it, just like I did with the Auburn. I took Western Carolina and the over. 2 free bets. Western Carolina scores 54 points. A lousy, meaningless, worthless 54 points, and you guarantee yourself a split. Well, we got trends for everything here.
I know, but the 0-5 straight up last 5 road games, of course, for Western Carolina. 5-0 straight up and against the spread for Tennessee. Who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares? You
it's
like the
54 points.
System?
Topeka High could score 54 points against Tennessee, right?
Cash the mention of Topeka High in the first segment tickets. Everyone that's watching, they bet. There's literally an underground thing going on. I didn't want to tell you because it might affect the line, but there's people that bet when you and I get together every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday to do in-game live game day. Well, we're not getting together next Tuesday and Wednesday. We're off, but that's a whole nother story. They bet on when Wetzel is going to say Topeka High. It's unbelievable. There's a thing going on about that. I'm telling you.
The sooner I say it, the more aggravating I am. So that's how aggravating.
Here we go.
Before you look at the score, right? Before you look at the score of Tennessee, Western Carolina, I will tell you Western Carolina hit a 3 first 30 seconds, up 3-0. Western Carolina hit another 3 about 2 minutes in, up 6-0. Western Carolina hits a third 3, Dave. A third 3, 3 minutes and about 5 seconds into the game. They have 9 points. All I need is 54. 54, and I got a guaranteed split. I got 9 points in 3 minutes into the game. Do you want to guess how many points they scored in the first half, knowing they had 9 in 3 minutes?
9 in 3 minutes. It's the way you're saying it, they probably have 21.
No. Lower.
Under 21? I didn't look yet. Double. They got to have double then. 18, right? 18?
Lower.
They have less than 18 points. Tell me. I mean, how much did they get shut out? They got to have more than 9. I don't know, 15.
15 points. They scored 6 points in the final 17 minutes, including none in the final nearly 8 minutes.
The girls' game you did on the island last night, and the Hokas had more points scored than that.
Unbelievable. I've seen teams score 15, 20 points in and a half, right? But not when you scored 9 in the first 6 lousy points in 17 minutes.
That doesn't even make sense. Are you sure your score bug's not stuck? Like, that can't be real. We have to double check that. I mean, listen, Vinny, you're going to have to, every time this team scores, you're going to have to blow the goal horn.
Blow the horn.
Because right. Like, I mean, it ain't going to happen that much. Western Carolina. Wow. There it is. That's the halftime. Oh, my gosh. We're into the second half, Wetzel. You're in big trouble.
It's going to be a double loser.
It's
And I doubled down on this one.
With 15 minutes left in the game. The total's 125. 125. Oh, you're done. Sorry.
I'm done.
Yeah, you're done. That's it.
Now I did a double winner out of the Auburn game to balance it off. But how is that possible? Honestly. I mean, you could put Topeka High on the court and get more than 6 points in 17 minutes.
Listen to this. They have not shot one free throw. Okay, there's just the 0 for 0 free throws. 5 for 30 from 3, and they made the first 3. They're 6 of 41 from the field. That don't even make sense. That's 15%. And you got them plus all these points. Oh, boy, this is one for the ages. Put this on the log, Matty G. We're going to have to put this one. Yeah.
I got to sweat this one out. What what's a better chance? Them covering down 30 with 15 minutes left, covering 36.5, or have it going over 142.5 or 144 now?
You have no shot of it going over 142.5. You can forget about that.
No shot.
That's long gone. No shot. Done. In-game totals 125.5, and the in-game numbers 41.5. You could take 41.5. You got an outside shot at that.
I can't take that.
This be true. 41.
I'm surprised they're only giving you 41.5. The team's down 30.
Yeah.
They hit 5% of their shots, for goodness sakes. Well, they should lose. They're probably going to lose by 50. You're right. My only shot for the split is to get the cover. Somehow, Tennessee calls off the dogs.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I never see a game. I never saw a game like that. Honestly, I just 9 points. I'm following it. Boy, I'm thinking 9-6. They were leading 9-3. This team was outscored 35-6 the rest of the first half.
Yeah. You were thinking about where you were going on a date for dinner. You were already thinking about the steakhouse, and
I was going to take the wife. Sorry, honey.
See,
Western Carolina. No dinner tonight. Burger King. We went from Ruth's Chris Steakhouse to Burger King.
Yeah.
It is
2
what
for
it is.
$5. It's 2 for $5.
Get the Whopper Jr. No Whopper even. Whopper Jr. No fries.
I'm actually not even on a side today.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that. Why are you on Texas?
I gave them a chance. Maybe not me as the overwhelming authority in college football, but entering that game on this set, to you guys, I said there was one elite defense entering the matchup in Austin back to end out October. It's not the Bulldogs like it used to be. It is Texas.
College football today, only on SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred, or just worked on the side, or, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
The college, they don't operate on the same timelines, right? UNLV's head coach just got, the Purdue job this morning, where I imagine, right, UNC probably needs to know from Bill.
And let's say it's late December, and we see 7, 8 teams open, and none of them want Bill. Then Bill's got to make a decision. Does he want to be a college head coach?
Pro football today, only on SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all. Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live. Game day here on the grid. Let's put the college basketball aside. Let's find some better pastures for us to make some money tonight as we keep a keen eye on Western Carolina. The NBA Cup Championship is tonight. One game on the docket. Milwaukee versus OKC. Let's bring in the coach, James Young. Whatever happened to his sounder, by the way, to join us and give us a couple of winners. Where'd your sounder go, Coach?
Yeah,
use that one?
Good. I wish we could use the stinger, but that's okay. We'll get the stinger eventually. But guys, Good evening. By the way, Mr. Wetzel, I think your partner, Mr. Sharapan, didn't get the memo because we are dressed clean and he looks like he just came off of Broad Street in Philadelphia. But that's okay. We got basketball tonight. Wrong sports, Sharapan. Do they have Tuesday Night Football? I don't think they have Tuesday Night Football. No. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Big game in the NBA tonight. And, guys, I love the NBA Cup.
No, you're the only one. But okay. As long as you love it, you can hand out the winners because we love making money.
Kevin Walsh. Kevin Walsh is the ambassador of the NBA Cup.
I already had your seat arranged. I had ground transportation to pick you up at the airport here in Vegas to go to the game. And you are too busy, working, shooting in a gym in the morning, doing all this other stuff. You couldn't come out. And I know it's way past your bedtime. There's no chance you even see the end of this game. So this game's getting ready to tip off. You better give the people something. The people, want to see you, but they need to hear what the JY says for this game, because this is OKC minus the points all day, twice on Tuesday, whether you're wearing a suit or a green hoodie because you lost a bet because the Steelers lost to the Eagles.
Oh, now I get it. Yeah. Give me Oklahoma City minus the points tonight. Listen, I know Giannis has been on a mission, but the way Oklahoma City has looked the last two games, including putting up 70 points in the semifinal versus Houston, I've been really impressed with Oklahoma City. So I like Oklahoma City minus the points in the game tonight. When you get into props, one of the reasons why I like Oklahoma City, guys, is Isaiah Hartenstein. He is fitting really nicely with Oklahoma City. He had a 20-point game last game. Remember last game when they went against Houston, they had 4 guys scored 19 or more points, led by SGA. I'm going Isaiah Hartenstein to go over 11.5 points, and you can also look at Isaiah Hartenstein to get a double-double. Folks, it's a low total, but the one thing I have seen, guys, since I guess we'll call it the knockout round, right, since the quarterfinals is, guys, there's been defense being played in these games. I think both teams want it. I think this is going to be like a heavyweight fight. I think the game slows down. Give me under 215.5. And lastly, Giannis, it was this morning at 11.5. Now it's 12.5. I think he has a monster game. I just don't think he has enough supporting cast with him. So I want to go with Giannis over 12.5 rebounds. Remember, last time he went against Oklahoma City in the spring, 19 boards. Give me Giannis Antetokounmpo over 12.5 rebounds tonight.
Can he get a triple-double? Double-double is still laying decent odds. Triple-double, you're getting odds for Giannis. That asking too much?
No, it isn't, because what's really good about Oklahoma City is I think they have guards, Caruso, SGA, Lou Dort, that may be able to put Damian Lillard in jail. I'm concerned with his points prop. I wouldn't touch it. If anything, I would go under. So Giannis may have to be the point person, right, guys, in regards to all things. Scoring, rebound, guys, he's going to have to put the team on his back to keep this close. So your choice, triple-double over PRA, I think you get a monster performance out of Giannis. I think he gets you there. I just think, like I said, he doesn't have the supporting cast.
General question for you here, sir, because you're so knowledgeable about basketball and you're one of the guys that actually coaches the game, still coaching on the side, doing all this other stuff. Is the SEC the best conference in college basketball? Because when you look at the championship odds, look at those teams up near the top there, JY. There's a lot of SEC teams on that board. Auburn, the best team. Tennessee playing tonight. Wetzel bet against them. He took against Tennessee tonight with Western Carolina. Can't believe it. What do you think, JY? SEC, yes?
I mean, listen, it was 34.5. I don't think Scotty's looking too good because right now. So, but when you look at the SEC, Auburn, right? Obviously, playing as well or better than anybody in the country. Tennessee, number one team in the country. Alabama, who I still think can get there and win a national championship. You look at Kentucky, the job that Mark Pope has done. You can look at Chris Beard. You can look at the fact a team like Florida's got Walter Clayton Jr., who was beaten. They were beaten. I don't know if they still are. Was beating the brakes off of North Carolina. You got a team like South Carolina flying under the radar at 7-3 that's beating Clemson at home. By the way, I went with the Dave Sharapan, Scotty Wetzel rule of betting. I take the home dog that is unranked versus the ranked road team on a short spread. This is the rule of thumb I got for my guys. Anytime it's like 4.5 or less, I don't even blink once. I go take it right away. But yes, SEC probably the best conference in the nation with their depth as a whole.
Good to know, Professor.
Are you with us for another segment, or no? You got to run.
I'm with friends.
It's only a couple minutes. It's a short segment.
Short segment. Hey, who's calling short?
Not you.
Well, the segment is short.
The segment
is Western Carolina.
Well, I'm not short. I'm not short.
I'm actually not even on a side today. Yeah. And I'll get to that. Why are you on Texas?
I gave them a challenge. Maybe not me as the overwhelming authority in college football, but entering that game on this set to you guys, I said there was one elite defense entering the matchup in Austin back to end out October. It's not the Bulldogs like it used to be. It is Texas.
College football today, only on SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred or just worked on the side or, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
The NFL and college, they don't operate on the same timelines, right? UNLV's head coach just got, the Purdue job this morning, where I imagine, right, UNC probably needs to know from Bill.
And let's say it's late December, and we see 7, 8 teams open, and none of them want Bill. Then Bill's got to make a decision. Does he want to be a college head coach?
Pro football today, only on SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the Grid. Talking to the coach, Coach James Youngs. We get set for Cup Championship, bottom of the hour here in about 5, 6, 7 minutes or so. Also talking some college basketball. And, Coach, I wanted to bring up North Carolina because they're losing again to Florida. Close game so far. They're down 5 or 6 here, early second half, so it's not over. But if they were to lose, they would fall to 6-5. They don't necessarily have any bad losses, but, eventually you got to start winning some of these good games. What do we make of a possible 6-5 North Carolina team for this season?
I mean, listen, I'll say I I'm questioning these schools that just give the job to one of their guys. You know, alumni, old player, assistant coach. You know, this is the University of North Carolina. Like this is a blue blood. This is a program where anybody can get. And if you think about it, right? You look at what's going on in North Carolina. You look on what's going on in Villanova. By the way, I heard a funny story over the weekend. Do you guys know who supposedly Villanova really wanted to hire?
You?
Mark Few.
Wow. Really?
They wanted Mark Few. Yes. They wanted Mark
Few. Pre-DWI or post-DWI Mark Few?
I think it was pre. It was pre.
Okay.
But you think about that. You think about Alon Cooper leaving Oklahoma, giving it to his son. You think about these contingency plans. You can look at, what went on at Syracuse. You know, obviously they may be back with Carmelo's son coming there next year. You got to be careful sometimes with these big-time programs, just giving the program to the assistant because you want to keep it in the family. You don't want to keep it in the family. You want to win games. And I think North Carolina, listen, they had that rough loss at Kansas. The problem with Carolina is this. They don't start well. And to me, when you don't start well, that's coaching. Tonight, down by 12 at the break. At Kansas, down 15, gave up 53 points. They play Auburn, right? Down 8 at the break. You look at the game that they lost to Michigan State, down 9 at the break. You look at the last game, Alabama, down 9 after the break. Folks, what am I telling you? Go against North Carolina in the first half.
First half.
To play any team that's worth a damn, go ahead and take the other side because they just don't seem like they're ready to play when the game starts. And then Hubert Davis has got to chase his tail and adjust. So when you look at that Carolina schedule, right, after playing the game tonight versus Florida, right, they got UCLA 18th in the country. Maybe that's an opportunity to take UCLA in the first half. This is something that is coaching. Poor starts before the game, poor starts after halftime usually means your team is not ready to play. Unfortunately, folks, and Rebecca Harrelson, who is the head of our social media, who's a North Carolina alum, she's where I'm going with this, that's coaching.
Yep, no clips for you. JY, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you. Love you. Happy holidays. You know, we won't see you again. We're off for a week or so. But enjoy the basketball on Christmas Day and enjoy the holidays with the girls and everybody else that you got going on.
Hey, listen, if you're not ready to play, bring me on early on because I'm always balling. Merry Christmas, guys.
You got it, Coach. Yes. All right, with that, let us throw in our SGP here on the
Let's go. We're quick.
All right, let's use the Cup Championship, right? We're starting in about 5 minutes or so let's throw it out there. I'm going to agree with the coach as far as OKC. Not going to get greedy. I'm going to grab them on the money line. Going to go with the under 215 like Coach suggested. Going to go with the Greek Freak, double-double. Won't go triple-double. Double-double minus 320. Going to go with the Greek Freak, who's really not Greek, to get a steal. And then Shea Gilchrist-Alexander to get a steal. And then Cason Wallace, never heard of him, to get a steal, minus 370. So I'm thinking defense. I'm thinking steals galore. I love the steals bets. I'm kind of getting into that stuff. Add it all up, plus 727. Not bad. Plug left, we come back.
I'm actually not even on a side today.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that. Why are you on Texas?
I gave them a chance. Maybe not me as the overwhelming authority in college football, but entering that game on this set to you guys, I said there was one elite defense entering the matchup in Austin back to end out October. It's not the Bulldogs like it used to be. It is Texas.
College football today, only on SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, you know, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
You know, I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred or just worked on the side or, you know, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
The NFL and college, they don't operate on the same timelines, right? UNLV's head coach just got, the Purdue job this morning, where I imagine, right, UNC probably needs to know from Bill.
And let's say it's late December, and we see 7, 8 teams open, and none of them want Bill. Then Bill's got to make a decision. Does he want to be a college head coach?
Pro football today, only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This
is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Road management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid on a terrific Tuesday. So we got a little SGP action with the NBA Cup. I'm not sure how important it is to these guys, but it didn't really help the LA Lakers last year. But maybe it's a little something that they want to be able to say. What do they get, $1 million a piece, I think, if they win, or they split it up amongst everyone on the team? Like they don't have enough money. Yeah, but you might as well if you're going to be able to go to the finals. I think this is the one where all the other games kind of count it in a regular season. Like even the semifinals, I think that like they were supposed to play those teams later on in the year. If they played in the semifinals, then they won't play later on in the year. This is the one extra game that they're actually playing. So if you got this far, you might as well try and win, I suppose, right? So. I don't know. Who do you like in the game? I haven't heard anyone say they like Milwaukee. I must say, it is a little scary, but I'm going to buy into OK. That's why I only took them on the money line, OKC, as you see there. I didn't want to get too greedy with laying 5.5, 6. And if we're going to get some defense being played tonight, then I think we're going to get some steals. I do like the steals thing. You know, it's kind of hard to play an entire game and not get at least one steal, right? I mean,
listen, you're a referee. You see the game now all for what it is. And I mean, if you like the one steal, you only got to get one. You might have to wait all game to get that in the log. So if you don't mind waiting for that, that's fine. But like Herm Edwards said, you play to win the game. They're going to play to win the game. And this guy's going to have a big say in it. I mean, SGA, top scorer, plus 115. It's basically him against Giannis. So if it's a head-to-head. I mean, although Dame could light it up, and I don't really know if anyone else on SGA is going to, or on OKC is going to outscore him. So plus money bet for the producers. They're getting involved. Everybody's getting involved. I like you getting involved in this, although I kind of like the over. I think with it being the last game, it is a little bit light, right? Like I think it's an over adjustment. When we talked about it on BBB, I didn't look at the number. And I went in my head 223. So I may have been way off. I mean, you know, I said, well, I wonder what the total is because I initially thought these two teams, Milwaukee plays to the over a lot, so does OKC. It's a different venue. They already got one game in here. Now, they've been in Vegas for a couple days. They played Saturday night. I went out to this DraftKings party Saturday night, this VIP party. here in town, and they were supposed to have some of the players come through. Players didn't come through. It was already 12:30 at night on Saturday night. I had to go home, but I can only imagine what they've been doing here for a couple days, without games. Let's go practice, shoot around a little bit, and then go hang out at the tables, or like do stuff like Vinny would do. Vinny would get here and get crazy. If Vinny didn't have to work for 2 days in Vegas, could you imagine what he would do?
Western Carolina?
Uh-huh.
3?
You won't believe it. It's 73-30 right now. 30. They scored. I mean, he's right. He did say play the horn when they hit a 3.
7 minutes?
Not enough. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. The in-game now is 44.5, and the total's 124.5. Nah.
I got no shot. I can't even get the split. I can't even get the split.
No.
Unless I get 9 points in 3 minutes like they did to start the game.
Well,
you realize they've scored 21 points from the 17-minute mark, 16 like 50. We'll just say 17 minutes. From the 3 minutes into the game, from 17 minutes for another 15 or so minutes, they've scored 21 points.
You're driving our audio guy crazy. When you get excited on the show and you pound the table, you make that noise, you do that, it sounds like that in everybody's ear. You're going to have to pound your leg or just relax. Just take a deep breath. We're on to Georgia State. Maybe Georgia State can cover
Not
against
giving up
Auburn.
hope yet. Not giving up hope yet. I'm not.
Look at this. 4-2 against the spread. 4-2 to the under in the last 8 road games. Last 6 road games, for Georgia State. We're live here. You got a shot. Although JY just came on and said Auburn.
Western Carolina, another layup. Oh, they're on a tear now, 75-32. What do I need? 55.54? Can I get 22 points in 4.5 minutes?
Highly unlikely. No. They just took the total off. No, big trouble.
Yeah. Wow. All right, college. Do you like Auburn? You want to go? Would you double dip down Auburn or the underdog in the over on that one?
The underdog 38.5. Now, that's the Wetzel system. I don't know if I always agree with that system with these mismatched teams. I don't know. I'd rather have not like some of the best teams in the country, like you trying to fade Tennessee and Auburn tonight. Like there would have been somewhere like Prairie View A&M's playing UCLA tonight. Maybe we could go there. That might have been. I feel like that might have been a spot to take the dog and all the points, something like that. I don't know. No, I don't want that. Did you look at the hockey? You did. We got Zig coming up next, and you were talking about the trend. What was the trend before the game started, where the team lost 10 in a row? Tell the people, because I know it, because I'm a hockey guy, and so are you.
Buffalo Sabres. They lost 10 in a row, and yet they were road favorites at Montreal. Not big favorites, minus 120. I mean, I don't care if they win the game 10-0, which they're not going to do. But why in the world would they ever be a favorite having lost 10 in a row? They're down 5-1. I mean, that's
with 2.5 minutes left in the second period. Yeah, obviously, the hockey guy's already started his holiday break, or he's off on Tuesdays. Like, there's no excuse for that, right? That's just a pick-up game. Winners bet on streaks. Losers bet against streaks. 10 is a streak. We've had this argument before. I think 3 is a streak. You insist it's 5, but maybe we can ask Zig. What does Zig consider a streak when he comes on? Because I have a feeling Zig's going to be more towards my number, my 3. 3 is a streak officially. But yeah, that wasn't a good number. Sometimes odds makers miss. I mean, it happens.
But that's not even like it doesn't make any sense. Why would I'm assuming the backup goaltender was in for Montreal, but what's the difference? Backup for goal. Montreal's Montreal. So I mean, I'm telling you, more people bet against those streaks. I'm telling you, more people go to the window saying, there's no way Buffalo's going to lose 11 in a row. No way, they're due. They're due. Let's bet Buffalo.
I can't confirm that. I can confirm that after a couple decades in the books and, being at the counter out front with people in Vegas. More people bet against those streaks than bet on those streaks. That's why they need to watch the SportsGrid. They need to watch us on In Game Live on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I mean, you got JY taking home dogs, unranked, all this other stuff. Listen, I mean, maybe they'll listen to you. Maybe they won't. I don't know. We'll see.
Rangers losing again. Talking about a dull game. Nashville
what is
beating
wrong
the
with the
Rangers.
New York Rangers?
I don't know. 1-0 late first period.
But look at the Predators are 1-9 in their last 10. Somebody got to be a favorite in that game. I thought that was a dead pick'em. I said on game time decisions with Kevin, I think you take the plus money and hope and pray. But right now we're down 1-0. Is that now? Look at that price. You want them plus 240, Wetzel?
That's a big number, right? That's a big number. Yeah. How about the Capitals? You know, the Capitals are just getting underway against Chicago. They're minus 2-1 on the road, but you can grab them in regulation as I did, minus 125. Capitals are 10-1 their last 11 road games. This is it's a crazy story. I mean,
it's great. With Ovechkin out.
With Ovechkin out. Yeah. They're playing better without him. As crazy as it. As good as they were playing with him, like they didn't miss a beat. On the 10-1. Wow.
It's the ultimate team game. Just give me a goalie. We'll figure it out. I love it.
Yeah. Amazing. All right, Kings lead Pittsburgh 2-1. We'll talk some more hockey with our good buddy Zeke Fracassi next here on the Red.
I'm actually not even on a side today. Yeah. And I'll get to that. Why are you on Texas?
I gave them a chance. Maybe not me as the overwhelming authority in college football, but entering that game on this set to you guys, I said there was one elite defense entering the matchup in Austin back to end out October. It's not the Bulldogs like it used to be. It is Texas.
College football today, only on SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred or just worked on the side or, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
The NFL and college, they don't operate on the same timelines, right? UNLV's head coach just got, the Purdue job this morning, where I imagine, right, UNC probably needs to know from Bill.
And let's say it's late December, and we see 7, 8 teams open, and none of them want Bill. Then Bill's got to make a decision. Does he want to be a college head coach?
Pro football today, only on SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning. This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave Sharapan until 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We got NBA, we got college basketball, we got hockey, we got some interesting football news to break down as we welcome in our good buddy. You hear him, see him all the time over Sirius XM NFL Radio, Sirius XM NHL Radio as well. Doing updates, doing hosting. He does it all. Our good buddy Zeke Fracassi. What's going on, Zeke? How are you today, bud?
Scotty, great to be with you. Consigliere, how are you?
Zig, I'm great. I've been just recently following you on Twitter. You're doing an unbelievable job, and then you're getting that paper like you said, doing them updates and all that other stuff over at Sirius. Absolutely love it. Can't wait to talk to you tonight about hockey. My first question in order of business for you is what the hell's wrong with the New York Rangers?
Yeah.
Like we were just talking about. What is going on, Zig?
You know, I really wish I had an answer to you because they're essentially the same team that went to the Eastern Conference Final last year. And they actually started out this year well, but I think it was the game against Florida that really kind of set them back for whatever reason. The goaltending hasn't been consistent, although they gave Shesterkin the big contract. Now, in some fairness, Kreider has been out, so he's missed a little bit of time, and he's your key point on the power play. Zibanejad has not been nearly as consistent as he's been in the past. Defensively, Fox is still very good, but it seems as though the guys around him haven't been as good. Miller's been a little bit banged up, so they've had some problems there. And being around the New York City area, guys, there seems to just be a belief that there's something stagnant going on in that locker room. I don't know if it's Laviolette's already lost this team. Well, he's only second year in to the job, but we saw what happened in Boston with Montgomery barely 3 years into his job, and he got let go this year. So you got to wonder. They already made a move. They moved Trouba out to free up some cap space, which they ultimately used part of that to sign Shesterkin. So I got to think if this doesn't improve, and I heard you and Scotty talking about that, they're already down 1-0 to Nashville. You got to wonder if there's nothing a little more bigger coming along the way, whether it's Laviolette losing his job, or do you move a Kreider or a Zibanejad? But those are big salaries. They got no trade clauses, too. You're going to have to find a way to make it work. And also, basically, if you're the Rangers, do you try to maybe you have to even eat some salary to facilitate such a move?
That would be something. That really would. The other thing we were talking about, Zig, is Washington Capitals. And again, 1-0 that they scored already at Chicago. I mean, this team is just unbelievable. Minus 440 now in the money line. That's crazy. But 10-1 last 11 on the road. Haven't missed a beat without Ovechkin. And I figured they would be closer to last place with or without Ovechkin, and it's been just the opposite. How impressed are you with Washington?
Yeah, Scotty, that's one of the big mysteries for me. And give Brian McClellan some credit. I mean, they made a nice move in the offseason to get Chychrun, who I've always liked, from Ottawa. They brought in Thompson, the goalie from Vegas, who's got some Stanley Cup pedigree. They may, in fact, be the only team I can ever remember that has two right-handed catching goalies, because their other guy, Lindgren, who's Ryan's brother, plays for the Rangers, they both catch with their right hands, right? Right, Consigliere? I don't even know if I've ever seen that before. But, Carberry was the Spencer Carberry I'm talking about is the Capitals coach. He came highly regarded from the Toronto farm system. In fact, Scotty, he had interviewed for the Bruins job before they gave it to Montgomery. A very good teacher, stickler of fundamentals, and so they bought into his system. You still have Carlson there. You still have Wilson there, so there's a couple of the old hands, but you get guys like Dylan Strome playing beyond his capabilities. Connor McMichael was a big draft pick for them a few years ago. Now he's finally starting to blossom. So you factor in all this teaching, some of the sage hands still around, and I'm with you. I'm still confounded how well they're playing without Ovechkin, who, by the way, before he got hurt, was finding the youth again. Look, he was 25 again, for goodness sake, and I think he's going to wind up breaking Gretzky's goal record. So I think when it's all said and done, they're playing above board right now. They did lose in Dallas last night, so this is a back-to-back for them, but so far so good for Carberry and the Capitals.
Zig, I was going to ask you about the Winnipeg Jets tonight being a monster favorite at San Jose, and the total, I can't believe, is only 5.5, which, I mean, they won 8-3 the first time they played. They're outscoring opponents. I mean, they 4-2 now in their last 6. They did lose 4 straight. But we got breaking news, and you brought it in with us, and the boys built us a graphic. What did you hear about, there it is right there. It's officially Penix now, isn't it, starting on Sunday?
I think he did this on purpose for me to do a 2-minute drill.
I mean, you're a pro. I knew what to do.
Right times, Sirius XM, NFL Radio, 2-minute drill. But
exactly.
But in seriousness, I guess I'm not surprised by this. Raheem Morris said it. Even Kirk Cousins said it last night. We have to be better at the quarterback spot. And he did throw a touchdown pass, which I guess is encouraging last night, but they didn't move the ball all that well against the Raiders defense savaged by injuries. So at some point you had to think, well, even though Atlanta still mathematically has a shot at the NFC South, which, by the way, they would have the tiebreaker because they beat Tampa twice throughout the season. But at some point, you got to give this guy who you drafted 8th overall a look. And to do it against the Giants, I think strategically a good thing to do. And at the same time, maybe it helps Cousins find himself. You got to wonder. I mean, he's coming back from that major injury of last year. You know, maybe it takes him over a year to get that footing back. But if you're Atlanta, you also got to find out what you've got with the 8th overall pick of the draft. So I'm not surprised by this. And they did make it official, I think, within about the last 5 or 10 minutes, a statement put out by the Falcons saying that Penix would be the starter against the Giants.
Real quickly, Zig, do you think it's age, interest, or injury for Cousins?
Great question, Scotty. I would say age because he's well north of 30 now. Injury, like I mentioned, I think because of, he's trying to overcome that, the injury, the heel injury. Yeah, the Achilles. Thank you. I got stuttered there. So, yeah, I think it's that interest. I think he's competing, but it's just not working for him.
Yeah. Zig, great job, man. We'll do it again soon. Thanks, bud.
I'm actually not even on a side today.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that. Why are you on Texas?
I gave them a chance. Maybe not me as the overwhelming authority in college football, but entering that game on this set to you guys, I said there was one elite defense entering the matchup in Austin back to end out October. It's not the Bulldogs like it used to be. It is Texas.
College football today, only on SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred or just worked on the side or, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
The NFL and college, they don't operate on the same timelines, right? UNLV's head coach just got, the Purdue job this morning, where I imagine, right, UNC probably needs to know from Bill.
And let's say it's late December, and we see 7, 8 teams open, and none of them want Bill. Then Bill's got to make a decision. Does he want to be a college head coach?
Pro football today, only on SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all. Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to In-Game Live. Game day here on the grid. Closing out hour number 1 of our 2-hour extravaganza, as we always do with our Black Cloud Play of the Day. All right, this is going to revert back to one of our, all-time great sports slogans, and that is winners bet with streaks and losers bet against streaks. We're going to go college basketball under Prairie View A&M, or whatever the fudge that is, versus UCLA. Under 147.5 for a UCLA game. That they don't score 147.5 points in 2 UCLA games, let alone one. The trend, UCLA 10-1 under last 11 home games.
Wow.
I don't think Prairie View A&M is going to upset that apple cart. So give me, I'm shocked we're in close to 150 for a UCLA game. But, this has got, 75-45, 80-50 written all over it, maybe 80-55. How's this get to 150 points, Jave?
I don't know. I don't think it is, but I just have to update the people. I mean, like the Black Club play of the night, we do need to double it up, I guess, because, you say doubled up, tripled up on all these things. This is the one that can't lose. You went against streaks. You did this other stuff with Tennessee, 84. Western Carolina, 36. 15 points in the first half. 21 in the second. Total of 36. See, by my math, that's 84, 34, 52 points they lost by. They were catching 39.5.
48 for who's counting.
Yeah. I reversed the numbers. Yeah. Let's see if you're paying attention. See if you could hear me.
Thank you.
Making sure you can hear me. That's good. Like that.
Listen, that coach should be fired. I would kick everybody off the team. One, you're dumb enough to schedule Tennessee. Two, you're dumb enough to play them in Tennessee. And then three, the players stink.
I got paid for that. Listen,
that's amazing.
You take the paycheck, you go, and you take the lumps. I mean, they were up 9-0, you said. Made the first 3 threes.
9-3, yeah.
Started 9-3.
3 minutes in. They scored 27 points over the final 37 minutes. They couldn't even average a point a minute.
No.
I mean, think about it. That's only 40 points. So if a team score 80 points, 70 points, like it's, like it's going out of, style.
Can you imagine?
21%
they shot 6
from the floor.
6 of 38 from 3, but they were 2 of 4 from the free throw line. It's a tough one.
Wow. They were only out rebounded 48-37. I'll give them credit for that.
Pounded the
How many
glass.
free throws?
Listen,
4 free throws.
Try to get that ball.
Game.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe take it to the hole.
That's why they got 64 shots.
See if you could take it to the hole. Like just get up there and get, Yeah. Now listen, if you were on Western Carolina tonight, all right, like on the team, are you taking it to the basket? Are you taking it to the hole and trying to get to the free throw line? Give me one of these. Hey, 2.
Yeah.
Get on the line.
Yeah.
All right? Get up there.
Because listen, the officials, believe it or not, we're human. So there's not an official out there that's not going to be like, okay, you know what, you tried, you're down 40 points, literally, you went to the basket, all right, we'll call it a block, it won't be a charge. You're going to the line. You're going to, just show some aggressiveness.
Right.
How about this poor sap, Ice Emery? Ice Emery decided to take 11 shots tonight, even though he was 1 for 11. 1 for 11. How's he going to sleep tonight?
Shoot.
Shoot me.
It. Well, I mean, that's you took him. His name is Ice. Did you see Vanilla Ice last night?
He was ice cold. That's what he was.
Vanilla Ice was the halftime show in Minnesota. Yes. Ice baby. Yeah. Ho, ho, ho. Ice baby.
How old is that?
I don't know, but he was.
How old
still
is Vanilla Ice? Is wow.
Come on,
Good
you
for
were
him.
rocking it on the island. Don't tell anybody you weren't. You were rocking that ice baby on the island back in the day. Yeah.
Another under on the Dookie Pukies is going to hit. I'm telling you. That, by the way, that 13-1 under trend in college basketball, way over. South Carolina, Clemson. It was on a great pace at halftime. I get the game on. Second half, all of a sudden, they decide they want to be gazelles. They've been running up and down the court the whole freaking second half. It's already over. 2 minutes left. Can't win. Can't win.
I'm actually not even on a side today.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that. Why are you on Texas?
I gave them a chance. Maybe not me as the overwhelming authority in college football, but entering that game on this set to you guys, I said there was one elite defense entering the matchup in Austin back to end out October. It's not the Bulldogs like it used to be. It is Texas.
College football today, only on SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred or just worked on the side or, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
The NFL and college, they don't operate on the same timelines, right? UNLV's head coach just got, the Purdue job this morning, where I imagine, right, UNC probably needs to know from Bill.
And let's say it's late December, and we see 7, 8 teams open, and none of them want Bill, then Bill's got to make a decision. Does he want to be a college head coach?
Pro football today, only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Road management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. It is In-Game Live Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave, hour number 2 of our 2-hour extravaganza. Really a busy night with the NBA Cup finals going on in Vegas with Milwaukee and the OKC Thunder. We got a full slate of college basketball, great slate of hockey games tonight, and we got a college football game here starting. Kind of a weird 9 o'clock start. I know it's in Texas, but we got Memphis and West Virginia squaring off here. So a lot to get through over the next 60 minutes or so. We got Cam Stewart coming up in about 45 minutes. He'll join us, give us some picks as well, Dave. So let's start with, listen, NFL is supreme. We got the Michael Penix news. We talked about that. He's going to be the starting quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. Give me first your thoughts on that, and then we'll get to the college football, and then we'll update the NBA Cup championship. So I'm a little surprised. I am, just because they owe him a lot of money. He's got a no-trade clause. They made the commitment to him. They got a Giants team that they should beat, and I just figured they would give him 1 year and just say, all right, whatever happens, this is it. You got the full year to prove that you're our quarterback. Little surprised they're pulling the trigger, to tell you the truth.
Oh, I'm not surprised at all. I was prepared for this. I was sitting right here. Old school, different bird. All right, I had to wear the Eagles stuff for the bet, but I wore the Falcons stuff today earlier on Bostonian versus the book, and I said, unless Michael Penix starts, this will probably be the last time I'll wear the Falcon stuff. I thought it last night when I was watching the game. I looked ahead and said they're playing the Giants at home. They're 10-point favorites. It's the perfect time to say, Kirk, either say something's wrong with your shoulder or something like that, or listen, this might be the time. Just take a step back and get healthy for a week and let the kid play and help him with the game plan. Kirk's a great teammate, and I'm sure he's going to figure it out at some point. But if Atlanta's serious about winning the next 3 games, and they got 3 winnable games and making a push to make the playoffs, I mean, the NFL must know something because they flexed the Falcons today in the last week of the season, or week 17, I mean, to the Sunday night game against Washington. So they're playing the Giants this week. Now, the number was 10. The number was 10 last night before Atlanta played here in Vegas and won. Not great. Didn't look great at all. It's now 8.5 out in the desert. So what do I think about it? Like, people think that that's not a good move, and they're willingly betting on the New York Giants, which is I mean, you talk about Topeka High.
Well,
they're Topeka High pro team. Like, I mean, come on. What makes you think? Now, you have two schools of thought. The Giants getting 10 against anybody's probably not enough, but the Falcons laying 10 against anybody is too high. So you get right in the middle there. I don't know. My first thought is this got to be better than what they got. This has to be better for the offense, for the running game, for all of it. I don't know. I think that makes Atlanta a look to play on going forward where they've been a play against for weeks.
Pates, it's a huge, huge game next week because no matter who's at quarterback, Atlanta figures to beat the Giants this week. Washington is playing Philadelphia this week. So they figure to lose that game. So now you're playing Washington. You're a game behind heading into that game against Washington. You beat them, you're the same record, and you hold the head-to-head tiebreaker. So they would hold the head-to-head tiebreaker against Washington as a wild card team, and then obviously they hold the head-to-head tiebreaker against Tampa Bay to win the division. So as bad as this Atlanta Falcon team is, they got two halfway decent chances to make the playoffs, believe it or not. That's why I don't quite understand the move. I would just go down with the ship and just say, listen, you know what? It's your season. It's your season. Are they going to beat the Washington Redskins with Michael Penix? I mean, I know the buildup will be good. Penix Jr. versus Jaden Daniels. I don't. Boy, it's strange. I
don't know. I mean, the look-ahead number for that game, Washington at home, boy, the NFL schedule is going to get absolutely crazy next week. They play Monday night, then they play Wednesday, 2 games, Thursday, 1 game, Saturday, 5 games, Sunday is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games, Sunday the 29th. So Washington's 3.5-point favorite against Atlanta at home right now in that look-ahead game. So that's the late game. I don't know. Listen, I'm sweating this out. We got Florida minus 3.5 against North Carolina. It's 88-84 with 8 seconds left in the game. So it's going to fall right around the number. This game went up, down. North Carolina led, multiple lead changes. It's coming down to the last shot for the point spread, for the game, for all of it. So we'll keep an eye on it. Sorry, I just had to get that in there while I was thinking about it, watching it.
That's right. Right. All right, Memphis laying 4.5 tonight. West Virginia. They're going to kick off here in about 3 minutes. Over under 59.5. I liked Memphis a lot more before I watched Navy versus Army. Because if those are the best teams in that conference, the AAC, where Memphis plays, it's like, how good can Memphis really be? But, West Virginia, they fire the head coach. They bring in Rich Rod again. He's not there. I don't know who the heck's coaching the team. Players are all leaving. This is a mismatch, So I'm going to go at Memphis. I'm going to lay the 4.5. I do think we're going to get a whole bunch of points. I love the Memphis team total of like 32.5 or 33.5. I don't know if West Virginia is going to continue, but I'd be very surprised if Memphis didn't put 35 on the board.
I think over is the best play in the game. I know for years I sit in these books and take these bets and stuff on the team that coach leaves. Rich Rod named the coach and players are leaving all over the place. I mean, I don't know what's going on with the transfer portal. It's a mess. I mean, the other day, a team just mailed it in and said, you know what? We can't even field a team. We're not even coming to the bowl game.
Marshall.
So, So it's hard to believe that it's become, it's gotten to this point. But the books take the bets. I mean, we just moved the number. It got up to 6, and there was a deluge of money that came in on West Virginia right before the game. So this thing is down to out west here. It went down to 4.5. It's now down to 5. I would say take West Virginia if you got to take a side, but if you think Memphis scores first, just wait and take a lot more points. We'll watch the total while we're on the second hour of the show. Final score 90-84 in the basketball. Florida beats UNC again, and UNC doesn't cover again. We got to talk NBA Cup. 6 straight points to close the game. End of the first quarter, 28-27. OKC Thunder. How about that?
Okay. All right.
Right on.
Let me ask
right
you one more in college football real quickly. Pick one And this is going to be your bet for every college bowl game, every meaningless college bowl game, like the Memphises versus West Virginia. You got to pick one with the idea of, okay, you know what, I'm going to win my share. The goal is to go 50-50 and have 40 games worth of entertainment. Favorite, dog, over, or under? Give me one that you're going to play them all.
So for years, I had a guy come in the book. He would take the bowl sheet, and he would say, give me the sheet, Dave. He would bet every dog on the money line in the bowl games. Every one.
Okay.
More often than not, you come out ahead. Now, you're going to lose. You're going to lose more decisions. But when that 8.5-point dog wins outright, you make up for 3 losses. You know, you're getting over 4-1 a lot of times. Somewhere in that neighborhood. But it used to take every dog on a money line. These bowl selection things that people do, these contests and all this other stuff, probably, a lot of your LLs, just take the dogs, all of them.
There you go, from the master.
So my team didn't win this weekend, but I still did with this app that's taking over the game. Sports Millions Pick'em lets you make quick and easy predictions. Pick your favorite players, go higher or lower, and you can still win big even if your team loses. Plus, the multiplier is insane. With just a few picks, you can win big money. So get on it. They've got a welcome bonus to help you start off your winning streak.
I'm actually not even on a side today.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that. Why are you on Texas?
I gave them a chance. Maybe not me as the overwhelming authority in college football, but entering that game on this set to you guys, I said there was one elite defense entering the matchup in Austin back to end out October. It's not the Bulldogs like it used to be. It is Texas.
College football today, only on SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred or just worked on the side or, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
The NFL and college, they don't operate on the same timelines, right? UNLV's head coach just got, the Purdue job this morning, where I imagine, right, UNC probably needs to know from Bill.
And let's say it's late December, and we see 7, 8 teams open, and none of them want Bill. Then Bill's got to make a decision. Does he want to be a college head coach?
Pro football today, only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The early line, only on Sport.
All right, welcome back to In-Game Live. Game day here on the grid. 14 past the hour. Hour number 2 of our 2-hour extravaganza. Just checking the scoreboard here. Bucks lead the OKC Thunder 30-28. Opening moments, second quarter in the Cup Championship out by you, Dave, in Vegas. Just seeing Giannis has got 6 points. He does not have a steal. In fact, Hartenstein has a steal. I don't have him. Caruso has 2. I don't have him. So, but a little bit of defense being played so far tonight. It's the 31-28. Nothing really crazy as far as No one's pulling away from anybody else, but the Bucks are getting 1.5, still down from the 5.5 or so that they were getting. Although that line did drop to 5, not that just before tip-off. So, and then the over/under is right around the same, little higher, 222 because it was 215. So I think you're right with your assessment. I think the line dropped just a little bit too much with all the unders, 5-1 under in the Cup tournament. 3-1 in the quarterfinals, and then both semifinals went under.
I say it all the time. I've been saying it for years. Trends are your friends until they're not. And, you can ride the trends and bet trends, and then just when you think you got it nailed down and things like that, it goes the other way. So it happens. I mean, we got to flip the script a little bit here, though. You asked me a great question right before the break. What is the answer? What does the Scott Wetzel, opposite picks guy, say? How do you answer your own question to that? If you had that one thing that you wanted to bet on these bowl games, is it favorite, dog, over, under? What is it for you, Mr. Grizzled veteran of this game?
Yeah, it used to be overs, but then they posted the line so high, that they've gone under, and then it would be underdog, but again, I think with the transportal stuff over the last couple of seasons, and especially this year, boy, I'm going to trust the boys in Vegas, and I'm going to be betting more favorites. It might not be for me. It might not be just a blanket favorite, every single game. But if I don't have a good read on a game and I want some action, all right, give me the favorite. And then I hope by the end of the bowl season, excuse me, that out of all those 10, 15, 20 games, I go 10-10. And I get 20 games worth of action and maybe lose the vig. Maybe go 12-8 or something goofy like that. You win a couple dollars. But it would be over because I'm going to trust the boys in Vegas who know that this team is better than this other team. And just hope they cover.
See, I'm one of the boys in Vegas, and I can tell you a lot of times that might be a fallacy. Hey, there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things going on. We're trying to sharpen up the lines, and the future prices, and, the games that count do so much more handle. This college football playoff stuff that's coming up on Friday and Saturday is going to be huge. And it's head-to-head against the NFL. There's 2 good NFL games on Saturday, so that's going to be fun. But I can tell you that the bowl games on Saturday will do more just on that day. Forget about the Friday night game with Indiana and Notre Dame. Throw that in there, too. It's going to be a monster. I mean, an absolute monster. So with all of that, the boys in Vegas are concentrated on those numbers. And if you look, there hasn't been much line movement, Scott. There hasn't been the games that really mean something has been really tight. Like there's nothing going on. So, between Indiana and Notre Dame on Friday, which again, programming note, we won't be on for that. But so we'll talk more about all the games tomorrow, about the weekend with the college football. But that one's not moved. The Penn State one hasn't moved. And did you see the Penn State backup quarterback had to leave? I mean, the transfer portal messing everything up. Do you believe that?
Yeah. You know what I equated it to on the podcast? We talked about it on the podcast. It's like an assistant coach, Dave, that's on a team that's going to the Super Bowl. And all these head coaching jobs in the NFL, all these NFL head coaching jobs are all being filled. Meanwhile, this poor sap's going to the Super Bowl, and he can't, be applying and getting these jobs because, he's more worried about the Super Bowl. But what are you going to do, though? Are you going to tell all these teams, you can't hire head coaches until the Super Bowl is over? No. And same thing here. Yeah. There's 135 or so Division I football programs, like FBS programs. What are you going to do? Tell them all, hey, listen, wait till the college football playoffs are over?
actually not side today.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that. Why are you on Texas?
I gave them a chance. Maybe not me as the overwhelming authority in college football, but entering that game on this set to you guys, I said there was one elite defense entering the matchup in Austin back to end out October. It's not the Bulldogs like it used to be. It is Texas.
College football today, only on SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred, or just worked on the side, or, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
The NFL and college, they don't operate on the same timelines, right? UNLV's head coach just got, the Purdue job this morning, where I imagine, right, UNC probably needs to know from Bill.
And let's say it's late December, and we see 7, 8 teams open, and none of them want Bill, then Bill's got to make a decision. Does he want to be a college head coach?
Pro football today, only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. So just as I was saying, Dave, I do think in this college football playoff, we were talking about that before we went to break there, that we're going to get an expanded playoff. No two ways of it. College basketball is talking about having 72 teams. Once they realize, literally, that's they're discussing now, 72 teams. I mean, so once they realize that these games are going to create more revenue, like you were talking about, more interest versus meaningless bowl games, these bowls, they don't want to disappear. They've been doing this their whole life. What do they want? They want their bowls to mean something. And what does that mean? Okay, then we'll have a 36-team playoff. Won't have conference championship games. We'll just add a whole bunch of teams in. And now the Topeka High Bowl, the Bluebonnet Bowl, the Independence Bowl could all be playoff games. So I do honestly believe that'll happen in our lifetime, within the next really 5-6 years, if not even sooner than that. So, but no score in the bowl we have tonight.
Do we need more? Like, they took something that was perfect, the 64-team bracket, and added
college basketball,
the playing games. And I was okay with it. I was like, and listen, I got kids. I don't mind change when change is for the better. But that bracket was perfect. The first weekend, perfect. The second weekend, perfect. The Final Four, Saturday, Monday, we're good. 3 weeks, and then the conference tournament week before, perfect. And we've added all this stuff. I don't need more games in that tournament. When the hell are they going to play them? Now we're going to extend the tournament out? If we're going to add 8 teams to make it 72 or 76, well, that's too many. Like, remember the NIT? The NIT used to have some good quality basketball games. There ain't going to be no NIT. And the CBI and all this other stuff. College basketball is getting a little bit too, I loved college basketball growing up, being a Pittsburgh kid. Big East was everything. And then, rooting against the Dookie Pukies and the ACC and North Carolina, Michael Jordan. It was, you knew the players on the teams and the conferences, and it just built up perfect. It's too much. I don't need to see playing games to get to the playing game to then get to be the 11th seed, right? What are we doing? 64 was perfect. And now we're going to make it too many, too much. 1 games. It makes the regular season. I want to watch games like Florida and North Carolina tonight. It was a really good basketball game. Doesn't matter if you lose. You're going to get in anyway. So I don't know. It really has lessened. I can't figure out the quadrant 1 wins, the quadrant 2.
It's so goofy.
It's too much. It's too much, Scott. I can't do it.
Yeah. They continue to minimize the regular season. It's just they've opened up this Pandora's box to championship.
I don't want that to ever happen in college football, right? And I feel like it's almost starting to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no doubt in my mind that'll be the case. I mean, I don't know why it's taken them this long to realize that a 12-team playoff or an 8-team playoff, whatever it would have been, is going to be popular. But there's no doubt about it's going to be popular. People are going to love this. Hopefully, I mean, if you're a detractor, you root for a bunch of 40-point losses. And then you say, well, do we really need 12 teams? We got 40-point losses. If you have a bunch of great games, then, although, if SMU gets blown out, then you're going to have teams like Ole Miss and Alabama and Miami saying, well, we could have done that. We should have been in that. So, yeah, there's going to be expansion. There's just no two ways about it.
In football.
It's inevitable. In football.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, in football, 16 got to be the limit, though. That's a lot to ask. The tickets for these places in the first-round games are home games. And they're not even that expensive. The get-in price at Penn State's less than $100. Now it's December, and the game time kickoff on Saturday is supposed to be 27 at
school
noon.
Out too.
It's school is out. Yeah, everybody's home. Yeah,
that's the problem.
So, I mean, that's a ready-made, audience of 30,000. 30,000 kids go to the game. That whole corner of the section of the stadium. There's 30,000 of us. So. I mean, they got to sell those tickets. I don't know. I know this. I told you. I told Vinny. I tell you. If Penn State wins that first game on Saturday against SMU, tickets on me. You guys come to Arizona. We're going to the Fiesta Bowl. We'll cover it for the grid if you'd like. But, I got all the haunts around town. I used to live down in Scottsdale. We got places to go, people to see. Won't have to pay for a meal. Play a little golf, let Vinny go to the casino. I mean, we got that. It's ready made. I'm telling you, come out. Let's go Penn State on Saturday.
Let's go Penn State. For the first time, I'm rooting for them. How about that?
Let's go.
Let's go. We'll check the scores when we come back.
I'm actually not even on a side today.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that. Why are you on Texas?
I gave them a chance. Maybe not me as the overwhelming authority in college football, but entering that game on this set, to you guys, I said there was one elite defense entering the matchup in Austin back to end out October. It's not the Bulldogs like it used to be. It is Texas.
College football today, only on SportsGrid.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. I'm ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all long, people.
You don't want them to go 13-0 and then lose the first round of the playoffs.
Red.
Yeah, this is their last shot. They don't really have anywhere else to go yet.
Hot take.
By the time I hit, I guess what, Route 33 up here, that ticket's cashing.
Only on SportsGrid. The Bostonian versus the Book.
I remember one time, I don't know if Kenny will remember this, I said put 100 on, I think I left it on a text, put 100 on this horse that won, and then Kenny called me back later and goes, hey, I never got the text. And I'm like,
no.
Oh yeah. Remember that, Kenny?
I would never stiff anybody. What he texted me as they're loading into the gate, maybe, like it's too late.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Just when you thought you hit kind of like rock bottom, it can't get any worse with Western Carolina. 9 points in the first 3 minutes, only 27 the rest of the way, or 28 the rest of the way, right? Have you seen the LSU Stetson score in college basketball, Dave?
No.
Take a look at that.
No. Why?
LSU leads by 23. All right, first half. That's to be expected. LSU has there's 6.5 minutes left to go first half. Right?
Oh no, this can't be.
LSU has 25 points.
Yeah.
And you might be saying, well, wait a minute, Scott. You just said LSU was leading by 23. They can't be leading by 23 if they only have 25 with 6 minutes left in the first half, because that would mean 25 minus 23. That would mean Stetson would have 2 points with 6 minutes left in the first half. That can't be, right?
Yeah. No.
LSU 27, Stetson 2. With 6 minutes left in the first half. 2. Chuck Woolery. May he rest in peace.
One of 19 from the field. It was a 2-pointer.
Wow.
They're 0 of 6 from 3, and they have yet also to get to the free throw line. I mean, just throw it to Wetzel. Let him drive to the hoop. What are you doing?
Go to the hoop, boys. Go to the hoop.
Please get a foul. I mean, just throw it up there and fall down. They'll stop playing. Say, here, son, get to the line. Make your free throws.
From a betting standpoint, I mean, I don't know who's doing this game. It's got to be computerized, I guess, but it's going down fast here. But the over-under is 126.5. You had 29 points with 5 minutes left. How is that game getting 100 more points in 25 minutes when one team's got 2 stinking points? I mean, I know they're not going to get 4, but that team would have to score 40 points for this game to get to 127. No? I mean, that's a dead under. I love that play.
My brain hurts. See, these are the games that used to drive me crazy. Like if we were doing this game in-game, because you try to do the math and you're like, literally, I don't know how many points this team's going to score. They got 2. There's 5 minutes left in the first half. They have 2. This is unprecedented. I've never seen this. What's the lowest score you've ever seen in a basketball game, in a college basketball game? I mean, 12?
I don't remember anyone in the 15. Team. The old Pete Carrill Princeton days, maybe, but I think at least 20. I don't remember anybody in the team.
We just saw 15. Right, with so
they're not even going to get 15. They're not getting 15 by halftime.
Double digits. No chance.
They're down to 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, it's 29.
They might not get double digits. What's their team total?
I bet they
What would you post their team total? Sharapan, your new guy in the block. You got LSU Stetson. Go post that one, Sharapan. You're the new guy in the block. Give me a Stetson team total.
19.5. I think it's 19.5.
19.5, something like that, right? 20 points.
You got to figure them to score 20.
Wow.
I mean, no, I don't know. It's just a disaster. This is harder than a math problem. Trying to figure out how many points they're going to score.
Give me the algebra.
I don't know.
Give me the calculus. I can't figure this out.
We got to get the abacus out. Yeah, we got to go hold on. This can't be. How many more shots are they going to miss? I mean, we could throw Matty G out there. Matty G could get us a deuce, right? I think he could get a bucket.
Sure.
Vinny 100% could not. We had Vinny have to go out and get a foul. Yeah, Vinny would have to go get a foul.
He'd be taking the bets on Matty, though. So.
Right. Well, we have a quick update. They hit a 3. They hit a 3.
Wow.
Stetson hit a 3. 31
there you
to
go,
5.
Boys. The comeback is on.
Right.
They were getting 39.5 a moment ago. As soon as I put the under in, they hit a 3. Figures. I still like the under. If this game goes over 126.5, I'll leave my hat. Bucks OKC, the scoring is stopped. Now it's down to 213.5. How about that?
That was fast. Second period tightened up.
Yeah. Memphis 7-0 over West Virginia. Tiger scored. I think they scored a defensive touchdown because I just saw them punt not that long ago.
No, 5 minutes left. That was an offensive touchdown. Running back went in there.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you. before we get Cam in here, did you see today that there was a Senate Judiciary Commission hearing about sports betting? Did you catch any of that today?
Yes. I did not catch it, but I saw it. Yeah, they want NCAA and then the NFL, I think, once the government to kind of step in here and cool the gambling. Good luck. That door's been blown open, boys.
It was mostly about the NCAA. There was no pro representation there, but they mentioned how the advertising is a lot, and they mentioned how, the initial thing they're going to push, and this will happen probably sooner rather than later, is they will ban college sports prop betting, individual prop betting, because of people saying stuff and, on social media, let alone at games, to college athletes because they didn't cover their prop. You didn't get enough rebounds and all this other stuff. They cited different examples. It was just really interesting. It started at 7 a.m. Pacific. I was up early. I told my wife, make sure our little one gets to school, please, today, because I'm listening to a Senate Judiciary Commission hearing on sports betting. She didn't even believe me. She's like, why would they be talking about that? And I'm like, yes, everybody's talking about it. But they did mention that the commercials have gone a little bit too much, and they want to see it curved back. Do you think so? Because you're a bettor. I'm a bettor. Right. I realize that we're like you and me aren't the audience, but there's a lot of people new to the betting space, or there's people that watch sports that don't bet, believe it or not. Sportsbook companies would have you believe it's not possible, as well as their partners sometimes at the leagues. But do you think it's too much?
Yeah, definitely. I do, believe it or not. Now, here in New York, you can't bet on college player props. I don't miss it. There's so much you could bet on other things between the NFL props or the baseball props or the football. I don't need college kids, and I can understand that. The poor college kid, he's 18 years, 19 years old. And I know these guys aren't kids, but you know what? A lot of them are kids. And he's got to worry about some schmuck that's betting his mortgage because I didn't get 75 yards rushing. I only got 73, and I stepped out of bounds. These kids don't need that. Just bet on the game. I do think it's too much. I'd have no problem with that.
Watch the game. The commercials have definitely really – they called attention to it. Yeah, they called too much attention to it, and now that they're fighting different fights and – but yeah, I don't know. I've heard so much in sports books, and they've called me names sitting at the counter like it's my fault that their bet didn't cover. And I knew what the line was and all this other stuff. I'm like, what are you talking about? You picked it. All I did was, type the bet and hand you the piece of paper. So it's really interesting. I think there's going to be a real, kind of not in a year, 2025. I don't think it's going to happen right away, but the next state that legalizes is going to have some major hurdles to overcome to get this thing passed, because they're talking about federal oversight and all this other stuff. I don't see it, Scotty. I don't see it. There's just too much going on. There's 30 states, 34 states that have it now. And there's a couple big ones that if they get it, it'll be like their own countries. Florida gets it. There's one book there. Texas gets it. It'll be free for all. And California will probably be last on the list, but it's going to be nuts, man. It's going to be nuts.
Yeah. I'm still amazed. Texas, with all the Yahoos down there, they don't have it. All the New Yorkers in Florida, somehow or another, they don't have it. And there's no more liberal state than California, and somehow or another, they don't have it. That's amazing to me. That really is. But, yeah, listen, cow's out of the barn, as the saying goes, or whatever that goofy saying is. There's no...
Cow's out of the barn.
Whatever. Cat's out of the barn, cow, horse. What is it?
I'm actually not even on a side today.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that. Why are you on Texas?
I gave them a challenge. Maybe not me as the overwhelming authority in college football, but entering that game on this set, to you guys, I said there was one elite defense entering the matchup in Austin back to end out October. It's not the Bulldogs like it used to be. It is Texas.
College football today, only on SportsGrid.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. I'm ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all long, people.
You don't want them to go 13-0 and then lose the first round of the playoffs.
Red.
This is their last shot. They don't really have anywhere else to go yet.
Hot take.
By the time I hit, I guess what, Route 33 up here, that ticket's cashing.
Only on SportsGrid. The Bostonian versus the Book.
I remember one time, I don't know if Kenny will remember this. I said put 100 on, I think I left it on a text. Put 100 on this horse that won, and then Kenny called me back later and goes, "Hey, I never got the text." And I'm like,
no.
Oh yeah. Remember that,
I
Kenny?
would never stiff anybody. When he texted me as they're loading into the gate, maybe, like, it's too late.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave watching a little college football, college basketball, NBA Cup Championship hockey. Here comes the Columbus Blue Jackets. I can't believe Tampa Bay may end up blowing a 4-0 lead. Cam, I'll tell you, I will give you, as we welcome in Cam Stewart, I will mail you an Opposite Picks hoodie, which you could buy on my website if you wanted to. If you tell me
I'm
you
part
have
owner of the site, Scott. I'm Opposite Picks Junior with you. Remember, it's a family business.
That's true.
I wouldn't mind a hoodie, though. Thanks. Thanks for telling me you have an apparel deal. Nice partner, Dave?
If you tell me you have the over Stetson team total tonight in college basketball against LSU, then you deserve a prize because they have 7 points in the final minutes.
I'd be a liar, Scott. I got enough problems as it is just trying to navigate the NHL board tonight. I'm on West Virginia, which has not been a great start to this football game. I bet them live right now. Plus 11, and I probably can get a better number after that turnover. Donaldson just fumbled the ball, but it's funny. A lot of people Dave, and you guys saw the steam move in that game. Didn't it open 54.5, 55, and close at 60? Mm-hmm. That's never a good sign if you're thinking over. Mm-hmm. But right now we only got 7-0 with 2 minutes left in the first. Things can change. Things can change in the game, but I believe West Virginia they'll make a game of this. In my opinion, I think it's going to be a seesaw battle. Hockey tonight, guys. I told you I got to stick by my word. I like Ottawa, and I don't like laying 30 cents with Ottawa, but this is a team that I watch very closely. And I like the way they've been playing. I know it's on the road in Seattle. I don't think the books make too many mistakes, making them a favorite. It was a smart move. And don't worry, Scott, if you're on Buffalo, they won't come back. I don't know what's going to happen with this team. You might as well just bring up the Rochester Americans, in my opinion. You can't do any worse than Buffalo. Honest to God, you're playing Montreal, and I looked at the score, 6-1. I'm like, you can't. They're fade these guys every. I don't understand what's going on. They're not that bad, but they're playing so bad. But you're right. Tampa Bay had a 4-0 lead in Columbus. These guys are gritty. They're gritty. They're not quitting in the game. Live stuff. I don't know what you guys are thinking in hockey. Okay, Scott. Actually, I just figured out that last game on the board. SJ Sharkey in Winnipeg.
Yes. Yes. What do you got?
Any danger signs or anything? Or is it just Winnipeg? Or there's something telling me with that line. I don't like what's going on.
Winnipeg.
Something smells fishy.
I will tell you this. Winnipeg started the season, right, 15-1. Since then, they're 7-9.
Yep. No, what the thing is, too, Scott, they have a huge game coming up. I do those sports book hits with the guy from the SIA, the betting company in Canada. He's like the president of the Winnipeg Jets fan club, and they're coming to Toronto, whereas kids like going on the ice and skating with the team and stuff. Like Winnipeg might look at this trip to San Jose and just say, whatever. And that's a very dangerous thing to do. I know the Sharks are like not a great team, but they have hung at home. And I think Winnipeg is a very, very dangerous play. For me, it's SJ Sharkey plus 1.5 or nothing. I don't trust Winnipeg. Or if they do, maybe they come back in the game. I just don't I expect them to come out flat. Maybe playing San Jose in the first period is something that I'm going to look at. And we still got a little bit of time there because I just really, you know what I mean, Dave? Like it doesn't feel, you look at that line, doesn't it feel weird to you? Like Winnipeg's one of the best teams in the NHL and it's not like minus $1 million. No, it's a 200. Like it's a very low, 220. That's low.
Yep. You got the Jets next 4 games. They're at the Ducks.
Yeah.
They're home against the Wild. And then they're at Toronto. And they're home for the Senators.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of a rough 4-game stretch coming up ahead of
it is right over the Christmas
Winnipeg.
season too, right? So they got to go to Toronto, they got to go to Ottawa, right? So we'll see. I'm with Scott. Like Scott brings up a really good point. Like they're a good team, but they totally overachieved. Like heading into like the season, like like they're an older team. They came out angry and hot, but do you really believe the Winnipeg Jets? Like you saw what happened. Like Hellebuck in the playoffs didn't do anything. Colorado beat them. They're just a team I can't take seriously, Dave. It's like I hate to say it, like even the Leafs, like in the playoffs, you bet the Jets, you're done. Like just give your money away. It's one of those things. Until they do it, I can't believe it. And their window of time, they had those years where Schauffele and Wheeler, like remember that team that they had in the goaltending, and they got close. But they never seemed to get there. And after that, they just kept on getting older and older and older. So, I'd fade those guys come playoff time. I don't know how you guys feel. New Jersey looks like they're starting to get their act into gear. And I just can't believe how good the Washington Capitals have been. Like, I don't stand in front of this team at all. I know when Andrew McInnes will come on our show, Gabe, in the first hour, he's a hockey guru. And I'll give him all the credit in the world. He said this team was going to be the biggest surprise team in the NHL. We said, who? He said, Washington Capitals. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, really? And I'm just, yeah. He's a really smart guy, Scott. Like he just, and it's shocking to me. If you look at all of their players, they had point totals on guys at the start of the year. Like half of their team is over their point totals now. We're not even at the All-Star break yet. That's how like crazy Washington's been playing. He liked them. I don't. To be honest with you, he thought the goaltending was a little bit underrated. He talked about guys being cast-offs from other teams. A lot of underrated, like hard-working players. Ovechkin still wants to go after the record. Like they're great on the. They've always been. Their MO has been power play goals, and it's just he liked the mix. And I thought they were going to be maybe competitive, but like right, Dave. Like I thought Pittsburgh would be a better team or the same as Washington, and it's totally like Washington's amazing.
But Penguins' goaltending situation hasn't been good, and the Washington is actually getting goaltending, and they're really playing disciplined hockey. They don't get in trouble with getting penalties.
Also, they got guys like Tom Wilson on their face. He takes a slap shot in the face. He's got 2 heads. Did you see that? The guy's got a boiler the size of my melon, and this guy's going out scoring game-winning goals. Like these guys are a different breed, man. That guy's nuts. Like I'm like,
Cam, what did you think? There was breaking news tonight about Michael Penix, being the starter.
Tune into SportsGrid. We talked about this for weeks. Me and Gabe have been saying this. I told Pharrell, I go, Penix should be the starting quarterback. Kirk Cousins can't move. He can't be any worse. The Raiders could have beat the Atlanta Falcons. I don't even care. Penix might be raw, but at least he can run, dish off the ball. Like, it's not an upgrade putting out an injured Kirk Cousins, who's obviously hurt, for a team that's 7-7. They hold the tiebreaker. Remember, they beat the Buccaneers twice. They got a couple games down the stretch. These are winnable football games, right? You got the New York Giants this week with Tommy DeVito. Like, that's the thing. I don't mind it. I'm telling you. But now, if Penix plays well, what are you going to do? You're going to go back to Cousins? Not sure if you can do that.
No,
it's an issue, Dave. But I'm in the Penix camp. I think they drafted him high for a reason.
The line moved 2 points against Atlanta when they named him the starter.
I'm going to be honest with you. I like it more. I'd rather take Atlanta with Penix at 8 than 10 with Cousins. I was going to take the Giants, for God's sakes, Dave. You're reading my mail.
Good job, Cam. Cam Gabe, top of the hour.
I'm actually not even on a side today.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that. Why are you on Texas?
I gave them a shout. maybe not me as the overwhelming authority in college football, but entering that game on this set, to you guys, I said there was one elite defense entering the matchup in Austin back to end out October. It's not the Bulldogs like it used to be. It is Texas.
College football today, only on SportsGrid.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. I'm ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all
You don't want them to go 13-0 and then lose the first round of the playoffs.
Red.
This is their last shot. They don't really have anywhere else to go yet.
Hot take.
By the time I hit, I guess what, Route 33 up here, that ticket's cashing.
Only on SportsGrid. The Bostonian versus the Book.
I remember one time, I don't know if Kenny will remember this. I said put 100 on, I think I left it on a text. Put 100 on this horse that won, and then Kenny called me back later and goes, "Hey, I never got the text." And I'm like,
no.
Oh yeah. Remember that, Kenny?
I would never stiff anybody. When he texted me as they're loading into the gate, maybe, like, it's too late.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid, wrapping up shop. Little recap of everything we got going on. Scott Wetzel and Mr. Sharapan here, rocking the Philadelphia Eagles Atlanta Hawks outfit.
Falcons.
My SGP.
Falcons.
Yeah, Atlanta Falcons. That's what I said.
Hawks.
My SG. Oh, Atlanta Hawks. I did say Hawks. You're right. Yeah, Hawks, Falcons. It's a bird. Bucks lead the Thunder 51-50 at the half. Now, I had my same game parlay. It's actually not in bad shape. I got OKC on the money line, so they're down one, no big deal. I got under 215. We're on pace for that because the over-under now is 207.5. We got the Greek Freak, who's really not Greek, with a double-double, and he's got 14 points already and 6 rebounds, so we're on pace for that. We need him to get 1 steal. We got the Gilchrist Alexander to need 1 steal, and then I got Cason Wallace to get 1 steal, and he has that already. So I just need the Greek, Alexander, and then everything else to come through. So we're looking pretty good there. So far, so good. And we got Memphis kicking a field goal up 10-0 over West Virginia. So that's looking good on the Memphis play.
And Coach Young hit his bet with Hartenstein over 11.5 points. We needed that. That was good.
Wow, already?
So,
Nice.
already. So he's in. He's in with that. There it is. Coach's NBA Cup best bets. Already has the green check mark. You don't get a green check mark because you called my hat the Hawks. It's the Falcons. And it's the horse is out of the barn. Like, we have people tweeting at us. I see you, Eron Sean, saying Wetzel has so many classic lines when the two of you get together on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays that said, put this one on the list. The horse is out of the barn. Is that what you said? No, you said the cow.
No, I said the cow.
You said the cow. You said the
where
cow.
The cow's in the barn, too. Why can't the cow be out of the barn?
Cows
Why
don't
is the
go in
horse
the barn.
get?
What are you
Cows
talking
stay outside? Cows stay outside? See that?
Stand up sleeping. They don't go in anywhere. Yes.
Well, they're tough. See, the horse is wimpish. So, give me the cow. That's it. That's why we eat cows and not horses. Because they're outside. They're struggling. They're living life.
Have you ever ridden a horse?
Yes.
Could you
Not
ride
like
a horse
ridden.
in a horse race? Like, could you be a jockey?
I don't think I could do that. I tell you.
No.
just going on those goofy little trails, when you go on vacation. Oh, let's do the trail thing, right? You get on a horse. Let me tell you something. First off, you don't realize how high you are. You're way up there. And you don't realize as that horse is just walking, you're going up and down, You're like ready to fall off. That's not for me.
Because, on this show, you've stated that you could get in the batter's box and, foul one off. You've stated that you could get a rebound in an NBA
Get a rebound
game.
that I could do.
Yeah, you've talked about
probably
what
bowl
else was
300 if I really wanted to. If I practiced, could do that too. But
practice, of course, but you
can't
talked
be a jockey,
about your inability to skate. Thank goodness you did. You mentioned nothing about hockey, so that's good. You wouldn't score a goal in the NHL. But
I remember saying that.
I'm glad to hear.
Okay.
I don't. No, you can't. You wouldn't even get an assist. That you would get. They would
I'm a
hit
sniper.
you.
Oh, I would definitely score a goal. I'm not passing anybody. Forget it.
No?
My teammates all stunk. No.
Really?
I'm shooting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm impressed, but I know for a fact that yes, you wouldn't even get in the sulky and ride in a harness race. That is even harder. That's scary. Did that for about 5 seconds. I'm like, get me out of here. I ain't doing that. And I haven't ridden a horse since Boy Scouts. I was 12 years old, and we were out, and this horse started galloping, and I almost started crying on the horse. I was like, please get me off of this horse. I haven't been back on a horse since. I like to bet on the horses. I love to go to the track and marvel at horses. And my daughters have ridden horseback, but when the girls go and the family goes horseback riding, Daddy stays over on the side and just waves and take pictures. I ain't doing it no more, Wetzel. Too high. You're right.
Yeah.
You're up there big high on that horse. No way.
Way high.
Can't do it.
Way high up there. Yeah, you don't realize it. And then you got your foot in that strap there. You fall off that. I get it. And that horse is gone. Boom. Forget about it. He's not stopping. You're hitting every single bump and rock, and as your body's
hurts. Your back hurts. It's a lot of it's not smooth. A lot of bumpiness. A lot of bumpiness. No good.
Auto racing.
You ever ride a bull?
Car racing.
You ever ride a bull? Mechanical bull.
I have a line here that I won't. I had a good line, but I won't use it. I won't. I won't. No, never ridden a bull. Go OKC.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Do we have a fantasy star on our hands here, George?